My movie. Ribbon, help, web, stop, cancel, stop, record button. My movie maker.
Hello. Hi, everybody. It's Sam. Today is Thursday, March 19th, 2015. And this is my second or third video vlog that I'm going to try to do every day. Or at least like a few times a week. So today was a lot better than yesterday. I talked to Jonathan yesterday, and he said that he would talk to the people over at IOP and try to understand my goals a little bit and just talk to them on it. I also talked to Edith, my caseworker, and I wrote a lot of emails to a lot of people, and I wrote a long email to Jonathan about it, and I did my video, and that was good. I got a lot out of all that. And so today, I was very good. I was not very tired. You know, I kind of rested on the way to program because it takes a while to get there. And then I had breakfast and I had donut and juice. And then we had group. We had 3 or 4 medical students there. One of them was named Nick. He was really nice. And they went to some school on like a Caribbean island, and then the school was connected with like hospitals here. So they do their 2 years or whatever of actual schooling on the island and then come back here. So anyway, they were really nice, and they have like worked on the different units, psych units in this hospital, and they were telling me about the different units, and I was telling them about my hospital experiences. But I guess at least they have groups on those units and activities, because I was like, yeah, other places you stare at the ceiling. So the first group we all met, and like Jamie was in there and Sarah, and all of us in a one big circle talked about meds and different meds. And we were able to ask questions about meds, and it was a good group. And, you know, it's interesting to see people's perspectives. Like, the med students were so, you know, when they brought up, like, benzos and, you know, the anxiety meds, you know, they just were so on the side of, like, well, they're pretty much, you know, you really shouldn't take it unless you really, really need it. You know, the doctors don't want to prescribe it because it's so addictive and it's just not something you should take. And, you know, I've heard a lot of horror stories about that. I mean, like, especially with, like, Xanax and stuff. But Ativan, my first psychiatrist recommended that, like, if I was going to get put on something like that, it should be Ativan. She had me on 10X, which is, I guess, a thing for ADHD. It also helps with blood pressure. And it was supposed to help the twitching in my shoulders. It kind of did. But anyway, when I was put on Ativan in the hospital, they just kept me on it, and it was good because it worked. You know, I handled my anxiety so much, and so I was on Ativan at bedtime, like 0.5 milligrams, for like 6 months or more, like basically 6-7 months before it had a tolerance where it wasn't working. Now I'm on 1 milligram, and I've been on it again for like 5-6 months, and hopefully it won't, you know, run out. And it's, you know, but it's not addictive. It's not anything like that with me. You know, it works. I use it when I need it, and I have the 0.5 milligrams or PRN if I need it. And, you know, so I said that to the people. I was like, you know, well, there is another side of this, which is that it works. And they were like, yeah, it responds differently to people. But I guess a lot of the people in the room were saying that, like, it did cause addiction, or like, but I think a lot of them had like alcohol and drug issues to begin with. And then the other thing that I found really interesting was, like, so many people are on antipsychotics and they don't even have schizophrenia. Like, they just, like, have bipolar and they're being put on Seroquel, or they need a sleeping thing and they're being put on Seroquel. Like, Seroquel's like a heavy-duty med. Like, I was on it at the hospital, and, like, I was wicked drugged out. Like, I was half asleep all day long. And I didn't care because I was, like, seriously depressed and, like, didn't even want to be awake. So it was fine with me to, like, be drugged out. But, you know, when I see these people at the place that are, like, half asleep, and it's just because of these meds, and they're like, well, it's just to stabilize my mood. It's like, they could be put on something else, not this heavy med. So it just kind of frustrated me, and I feel like some of the psychiatrists these people have don't listen at all and are just like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and too bad for you. And I'm really glad that I have a really good psychiatrist now that listens, and then I have people advocating for me. So yeah, we did that group, and then we did a group on listening skills, and that was cool. It was just talking about different ways that you're a good listener. And I talked about like how even though I'm blind, I can like turn towards the person and like, like pretend eye contact that way. And I also admitted that like sometimes I don't want to do that. Like when I'm upset, I like put my head down and like don't even want to look at you. I'm, like turn, and sometimes I would turn around and like not even face the person. And Sarah's like, "Oh, good to know." I was like, "Yeah." Like Deborah notices a lot. When I used to work with Deborah, she's like, "Yep, you would turn around, and if you're on your feet, you would turn your whole body around," which I did. So yeah, we talked about that, and we talked about different ways, don't interrupt, and like different ways you're a good listener, and it was cool. I liked it. And then we had lunch, and after lunch, we did a thing about writing out a goal, and then writing out obstacles and like a plan to solve the goal. It's like our treatment goals, writing it out like in our own words. So I chose the goal about staying within my self-injury care plan and helping manage my emotions better. And I wrote out like the obstacles, and I wrote out how easily I get overwhelmed and like different stuff. And then I wrote out like a plan, like different ideas. So hopefully I can look at it when I'm like totally freaked out, but a lot of times I can't. So yeah. It was good though. I liked it, and I did share in that group that I thought that cognitive therapy did not work for me, because like one of the things I wrote as like a plan was to talk to the IOP people, but to remember that their opinions is just opinions, and they can't control me, and they can't get me to think a certain way or feel a certain way or do anything, so if they're giving me advice, like it's just their opinion, and like as much as I'll probably like have an emotional reaction, of course, but to like try to keep in the back of my mind like it's not, it's just their take on it. It's not like the way to go, and only I can decide that. And because I said, so a lot of times when someone's trying to tell me something and I get defensive and I get, just wicked upset, and I like jump the gun and start going on about like what I think they're going to say next, and just going on and on it, that gets me even more upset. And the person is just trying to help me, but it kind of backfires. And like she's like, "Oh, well, that means that like being here is challenging for you." And I said, "Yeah, in a way." And I said that the cognitive therapy, I said, really does not work for me. So when people are talking about it, and I mentioned the woman's name, Holly, the woman's name that does it a lot, and I said, when people are talking about it, it does bother me. And the woman, Megan, even admitted, she was like, CBT would not work for me either. I was like, wow, really? So that was a really good moment that like I can count on her and to really talk to her. And I think she liked what I had to say, and I wrote really in depth on it. And so yeah. Then we rode home and picked up a bunch of people from a bunch of programs. And I got home and I hung out and I was tired, but then I had dinner and I'm less tired, and I took my bath and I checked my email. And now I'm sitting here in my pajamas. I had my snack. I'm going to take my meds and then brush my teeth and then upload videos. So that's my routine. I didn't have a routine when I was at college or before I came here. The staff didn't even put a routine in. Kenzie put in a routine. Mm-hmm. She's like my staff. She's like my mom and my sister.
Yep.
And yeah, so she put in the routine, and now it's good that I have it. And even when I'm wicked upset, she's like, "Here's your routine. Go in the tub. Get your pajamas on."
Yep. You can get your butt up in the morning.
Oh yeah, get your butt up in the morning. Oh my god. So tomorrow I can like hang out and take a nap in the morning. I'm so excited. And like I love staying home and like taking a nap. I feel so much better after taking a nap. Like I think it's something my body naturally like needs a nap. But at least I'm not as bad as these poor people at the program are so like medicated and they can't help it. And you have staff telling them like, "Oh, you need to participate and you need to be more awake and you need to push through it." It's like, they're under a chemical thing. Like a chemical whatever, the influence of this drug. I mean, you wouldn't tell someone that just drank alcohol, like, don't be drunk, because they just, they're under the influence of this pill, and they can't help it. It's a chemical thing. And yet they're being, all the staff just do is comment to this poor one person, oh yeah, this drug has really like, you can't participate and blah blah blah. It's like, you know what? Instead of telling him that, call and say, I want to speak to this guy's psychiatrist. I am a professional and I'm trying to work with him and I can't even work with him because he's so zoned out on this med. So you need to change his meds. And that's probably not like a professional way to say it, but like that's basically that's what I would say if I was a staff. I'd be like, okay, this person cannot even function in a program, so he needs to get a med change and, basically stay, like, I don't know, they have this weird thing over there about going to the program and, if you stay home, it's like a huge issue. A couple weeks ago, I was having a really bad crisis and things were just really, really hard and I had to go to the crisis unit, and so for the next couple, this thing happened on a Wednesday, and for Thursday and Thursday I was really, really bad. And Friday I was better, but I needed the 2 days to like settle back down. And I was just such in a state, and I didn't want to go in like crying and anxious all day because I just met these people. I didn't know what they were going to do. And ever since then, the one woman, Sarah, that I really like, I think Melinda's going to knock on the door. That's okay.
Just keep going.
The one woman that I really like, the one thing that she always says about
Yes, we know.
I know. I'm just gonna find out what time would you like to come.
About 8, please.
Alrighty, you have to say please, no problem. How you doing, kitty cat?
Good.
Who's that picture? Oh, that's me.
Yeah, you're on the video.
Oh, I better not do nothing. Let me see.
You'll be on YouTube.
Woo, I'm gonna do some dancing on YouTube.
This is Yolanda. She's one of our best CNAs.
See you later. I'll see you shortly. Bye.
Bye.
Who was on the picture? Me. That was so funny. So yeah, that's Yolanda. She's awesome. So anyway, all this Sarah would focus on was like, when she first talked about it with me, she's like, well, I'm really worried that, you let something bother, it wasn't even really, it was an issue having to do with somebody else that really, affected me because I got worried about this person and how would I support them and stuff like that. And she's like, well, you were so worried about this person that you couldn't come to the program. Like, it affected your ability to come to the program and your well-being. Like, she said the program first, and I was like, what the heck? I went through, like, hell last week, and you're telling me that I missed 2 days of your program, that I'm going to be there 6 months of. And I was, like, about to cry. And so, like, in the afternoon, I did actually tell her, which is a huge thing for me. Usually I keep stuff inside, and that's how, like, self-injury happens. Or, like, I tell someone else, and I don't really, like, directly resolve it. But I was sitting with her doing assessment, and I was like, it really hurt my feelings when you said that because... And I was, like, crying at that point. And I was like, because, I went through so much, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, like, you didn't attend your days. And she said she was sorry, but, again, the other day, like 2 days ago, we were talking about one of my goals, which is about relationships, and I don't quite understand it. It's saying that I don't have healthy boundaries, and I've never been told something about emotional independence, and I've never heard that term, and none of my friends have either, and a lot of them are
Look it up online.
into psych. I don't want to look it up.
Tough shit, you're going to.
Oh my god, this is what she does to me all my life. And I annoy her too. I tell her what to say.
Damn sure you do.
I tell her what to say, who to say it to, when to say it, how much to say it. So yeah, but there is always room for improvement. But they make it sound like, I don't know, they're just making it sound weird. But anyway, so she again tried to use the example, and she's like, well, that thing, like, that happened 2 weeks ago, affected, your ability to attend the program and your life. Like, again, said the program first. And it's like, oh my god, do you really care? I mean, it's like, another thing too is if you miss a day, so like they want you to go like however many days, a lot of people it's like 3 days. So if you miss, like when you say I missed like Monday, then I could go like on Wednesday, which is usually my day off, and I could, make the 3 days. So it's not like and it just happened that week that the stuff happened the end of the week, and I just, I missed the days, but it's like, what? Are you going to like put me in jail now because I missed 2 days? The IOP jail. That's almost what it's like. So anyway, what I was saying was, but these 4 people that have this thing where they're under the influence of this meds, they can't even stay home. And like I was saying, if I was a professional and talking to this guy's nursing home or nurses or psychiatrists, I would almost say, like, let him stay home to get this med out of his system and get the new med in. You know, I almost want to do that because, well, it's what I would want if it was me. If it was me, I wouldn't go in. I'd be like, you know what, I'm too zoned. I cannot even get, yeah. So, but they won't let that happen. And, like, same thing with physical, like, health. A lot of these people came in with colds. This one person came in, she was, like, coughing up a storm. They had her put one of those masks on, and a lot of it was, like, just to not spread germs, but, like, still, like, she was so sick, and I felt so bad for her. You know, it's just, I mean, I guess, you know, they really care about you attending, and they want to get to know you and whatever, which I understand, but I think they're taking it to, like, extreme. But anyway, so I did have a really good day, and this is my 3rd week, and,
You made your days.
I made all my days. So you get a prize if you make all your days. So, like, on Monday, they have this, like, prize cabinet that has, like, shampoo and conditioner and, like, toothbrush and toothpaste and you know, whatever they can get from the Dollar Tree. They said they have stuffed animals, too, because I said that I'd rather have, like, something I could play with in my hand than any of that. So I'm hopefully going to get a stuffed animal, and that'll be really cool. And then I think at the end of the month, you get, like, a $5 card for, like, Dunkin' Donuts or something.
Ooh, lucky you.
Yeah. So, but that's if you make all your days for the month, and I already didn't make all my days for the month. Which, I don't really care about making all my days for the month. Like, you know, whatever. Like, obviously I'll try, you know, now that all this happened, I'm not gonna, like, I'll be...
Well, if somebody wants Dunkin' Donuts...
Yeah, like, we can even get to a Dunkin' Donuts. I love Dunkin' Donuts. I love the sandwiches, bacon, turkey, and cheddar. And I love the munchkins, and I love the donut, the one with strawberry frosting on it, and sprinkles, and I love smoothies, strawberry banana with whipped cream. And I go to the Dunkin' Donuts Baskin Robbins. I would go there all the time. I would go to Trilogy, and it was right down the street, so I have my caseworkers buying me it all the time. But now, the closest Dunkin' Donuts is like a train ride away. It's like on the L. I'm not going on the L. The L is
We'll see about that.
Yeah, okay, I am not going on the L. You're going to have to, like, give me an Ativan before I go on the L.
Well, then start buying tickets.
I know. Well, I can't buy the paratransit tickets because they're $30, and I don't know. Anyway,
Tell Jonathan.
I know.
Get some
Tell
tickets.
Jonathan. We talked about that like 2 months ago, and he still hasn't done it. I don't know. I have my agenda for tomorrow. For Jonathan, my therapy session.
Wrap it up soon.
Okay. Why is it running out of time?
It is going on 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we need to take meds. So I wanted to say thank you, everyone, for listening, and I hope you've gotten some educational information about my IOP and how I'm doing. And, like, tomorrow or something, maybe I'll make another video on, like, intro to me and, like, more about my life, so when I mention people, you know who I mean. So I'll talk to you later, and bye!
Ribbon, help, web, stop.